Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. That's what we're doing today. So guys, we got the new MechMaxx SM-32 up here on the sawmill base. We got everything bolted down, leveled up, and we're almost ready to start milling. But I learned a few things from my last mill, so there are several upgrades that I want to make before I even start doing any milling. We're going to go through those today, and I'm going to share with you. One of them is an upgrade that I have not seen anyone else do on their mills, but I think it's something everyone with a portable sawmill should do to their mill. Stick around, find out what it is. So guys, I haven't had you out back of the sawmill shed very much, but we added something back here that I wanted to share with you that's going to be a part of this whole upgrade process. But we're starting to head off into fall. And the other morning on my way to work, I saw 46 degrees. And that had me thinking, you know what? I can't have that mill full of water come wintertime. I'm going to have to use something that's not going to freeze. So my son works at Advanced Auto Parts. I called him up and I said, how much is a gallon of washer fluid that's good to 0 degrees? It was like $4.79 or $4.99, something like that. And I said, well, order me a couple of cases of it. And he said, man, by the time you buy a couple of cases, you're going to spend quite a bit of money. You can get a 55-gallon drum of washer fluid, and it's pretty affordable. The prices are going to vary with the YouTube channel. I have a commercial account, so I get a little bit of a discount there, but you're talking more like $2.50 a gallon, $3 a gallon when you buy it by a 55-gallon drum. And then I have all the coolant that I need. So we bought a 55-gallon barrel of auto washer fluid that's good to 0 degrees and a barrel pump so that we can easily fill up our reservoir. So that's the first exciting upgrade that we've made. And I don't know that you can go into any Advanced Auto Parts and order a barrel of washer fluid, but you could definitely ask. I'm sure you can locate your own barrel. And the other positive to this is that, you know, food safe barrels are not cheap. Washer fluid is just alcohol and water. So when I'm finished, I have a food safe barrel, which I also could use to collect rainwater that I can use in the summertime for my coolant. So it's a win-win. I like the situation, so I'm excited about that. That's the first thing. Now this next upgrade is one that you saw me do to my SM-26, but I made some improvements upon the mounting of it. And that's my laser level on the side of the mill head. And this is calibrated to match the blade so that I can shine a light to the other end of the log and see down the log and know exactly where my blade's going to cut. And it's pretty accurate if you have everything set right. This is a Lasgu laser. You can pick them up on Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description. And they sent me this to try out, so just fair notice. But it's rechargeable by USB, and I've used this to mill a dozen logs. I've yet to have to charge it, so it's still on its first charge. That's cool. The downside of this is when it comes with a magnetic plastic angled brace, and you have to hang it so low that you can only get one bolt in it, and over time it started sagging to where it wouldn't auto level because this was leaning down too far. So I found me a piece of metal and I cut it to where I have me a really sturdy mounting brace now, and I've got it mounted to where it easily levels, and you can see the line across here and see that it's running with the blade. We're in business. So this Lasgu laser is essential, especially if you are beginning milling. It helps you visualize where your blade's going to cut so that you don't waste wood or waste cuts and dull your blade sooner than you need to. So this is the second upgrade that I've made. I'm excited about the way that this mount came out. I think it looks pretty good, but it's definitely really solid and it holds level well. Now, since this is my second mill, this is a very capable mill, and I don't anticipate me switching mills for a very long time, if ever. This SM-32 does not come with an hour meter. I kind of want to keep track of how many hours are on my Kohler 14-horse engine, make sure I keep up with maintenance and all of those things. So I ordered an hour meter off of Amazon. And I've installed it on here. It's a super simple install, so we're not going to go through the installation of all of this stuff. I'll just kind of show you how I set mine up so that you can, you know, have ideas for your own. But I'll put a link to this down in the description. The hour meter just has a wire that you wrap around the spark plug wire on your engine, and it doesn't require batteries or anything like that. So when you start it, it picks up that signal and keeps track of the hours that way.
Well, sir, I'm security. Gotta scan you before you go in.
What? At my own sawmill? This is getting ridiculous. Now guys, my next upgrade has to do with the logs that we're going to be placing on the mill. I mentioned the other day that the log yard is giving me some logs that have metal in them, and I don't want to destroy my blades, so I'm going to save my stock blades for that. Try not to ruin the ones from Jerry's Resharp. But also, I want another fail-safe in place, so as I make cuts, I want to be able to check for metal before we make those cuts. So I did what any self-respecting miller would do, and I went to Amazon and I bought a cheap metal detector. So this metal detector is cheap. This is not the $200 jobby. And, you know, I kind of feel like I could waste several blades before spending that much money on one of these. So this is more like the $25 jobby. And it has a sensitivity switch, and you can also set it to vibration mode or visible beeper, either way. It works, picks up metal. I've got a belt buckle on. So you can set the sensitivity to where you have to get closer to it for it to work, but obviously for milling, that's not what we want. We want it to pick up anything. So I'll be able to go down the logs and hopefully identify metal, at least if it's only an inch or two deep. Must be frogs. Huh. I'll keep you posted on how this works, but I figured having one of these hanging in the mill shed would be a pretty good idea. All right, guys, it is time to reveal the final upgrade that you need to make to your mill. And I think most people with a portable sawmill, this would be a great solution. Now, there are some good options out there. Woodland Mills has a pretty good setup with their cable-driven system that applies the watering at the same time that it applies the throttle. That's a great setup. If you don't have that, this is probably the next best thing, and honestly, I like this even better, except it's something that you have to install, and the Woodland Mills comes with that automatic system. So let me show you what we did. What we have done is we installed an electric watering system on a switch. So we have our water system here, and we've got our windshield washer fluid in it, and it runs through an electric solenoid. This is a 12-volt solenoid, and so all we had to do is run wires from the battery through a switch and to the solenoid, so that when we want to turn on the watering, we flip on a switch and we have a light indicating that the water is now flowing, and you can see the water start to drip there. When you're done, you shut it off, it closes the solenoid, and we're sealed off. And I had this same system on my SM-26, and I loved it. It was awesome. Now, there are options in terms of where you place your switch, and I really liked what I did on my SM-26 because I placed the switch right next to this handle so that you could just flip the rocker switch at the same time that you pull the handle. It worked flawlessly, but I ordered that same switch from Amazon, and it arrived busted into a million pieces. And this is what I had on the agenda to do today, so I went to Advanced to find a switch, and this was the next best option. I don't think maybe it's quite as ergonomic as my previous setup, but I think the install looks cleaner, and I like the brightness of the switch because this has a really bright light on it, so it catches your attention, lets you know the water's on. It's blue, which seems to go with the whole water theme anyway. Everything is all clean and connected here to where this is going to be pretty simple to use. When you pull the throttle, you reach up here and hit the switch, pull the throttle, and you're good to go. When you're done, hit the switch and shut it off. I really like it. The most difficult part of this install was I didn't have a drill bit to drill a 15/16 inch hole. So I had to drill as big a hole as I could drill and then take a rasp and like ream the hole out, you know, to try to get something big enough to put this switch in here. But we've got a nice clean install here, and I just love how this works. Now, I will probably mess with the flow adjustment a little bit because I think probably right now I have it flowing a little too well. If you overwater your blade, then you just soak down your drive belt and you might end up slipping the belt. And I don't want to do that. So don't want to overdo it with the watering, but we want enough. So I'll play with that and get all the bugs worked out. But man, I am really excited about getting this mill ready for its maiden voyage. And I think we're there. So our next video about the mill should be us placing a log on here and trying it out for the first time. Who we got here? Caden went back and picked up a hitchhiker. And ice cream cones. Found her on the side of the road.
He made me come so that he could go fishing.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna walk down there.
He even
Did you bring me one?
unloaded
Thank
the
you.
dishwasher.
Appreciate
so
it.
that
Man, working man. You know what? I just finished up my project, so I might come fishing with you too. Yeah. Well, all right, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Getting to see us make 5 upgrades to our mill. We hope they help you out in your mill operation. Until next time, get outside and enjoy God's creation because it's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.